All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at 22 now. And again, the directions are simplify the radical, assume that all variables represent positive real numbers. And if you watched a previous video, I think it was number 21, we dealt with something similar to this, where we were given a single radical, which in this case, we're given the cube root of 125 over 64. And what we did in the previous video, and what we'll do here, is we'll take this single radical and break it into two separate radicals. So we're going to break this into now the cube root of 125 over the cube root of 64. Do you have to do it this way? No, you can go ahead and deal with the single radical on its own, but I like to break it up into two separate radicals, just for visual sake. And now we can go ahead and say, well, the cube root of 125 is 5, and the cube root of 64 is 4, and so our final answer is simply 5 over 4. Would you have arrived at the same answer if you dealt with it as just a single radical? Absolutely. You would end up with, well, what is the cube root of 125? 5. Cube root of 64? 4. And so there you have it. The reason I really like breaking it down into two separate radicals is because what if one of your numbers in the denominator or the numerator was not a perfect cube in this case? Then it can be a little more tricky to go right from a single radical to your answer. Whereas if you break it into two separate radicals and one of your numbers is not a perfect cube, it can make it a little easier, at least visually speaking, to arrive at a final answer. But there we have it, number 22, 5 over 4. I'll see you at question 23.